Hello there, Jets fans, and welcome to the JetStream post-game, game number 3, the Ducks-Jets series. Today is April 20th, and well, that was heartbreaking.
That was devastating.
Yeah, that was probably one of the... Yes, all the games have been close. Yes, all the games have been one goal, or the Jets have dropped leads, but that one was definitely the most heartbreaking of them all so far. Before we really start talking about the game, just props to people who are in the arena. The whiteout was awesome.
It was everything that you would imagine it would have been. So.
Yeah, totally. And I think it was one of those things where people finally on a national stage, international stage, if you want to count the states, finally just saw what it really was, and people either were reminded or saw it for the first time or experienced for the first time. I was kind of jealous I wasn't in the arena. I was trying to get tickets, but not possible. The only thing that got me was that Our Jets Fly Forever sign that they brought back, of that classic scene from '96 in the last game where they had that sign down. Someone managed to bring that up and got it on TV before it was taken down. Props to you guys. It was great. The game. Heartbreaking is definitely the word to set it up. The Jets are obviously in trouble now, being down 3-0 in the series. The Anaheim Ducks, they lose 5-4 in overtime today. I think the reason this one is the most heartbreaking is the Jets actually started playing like the Jets again. Yeah. At least for 2.5 periods, they looked great.
Both teams had moments of domination. Yeah. In either period, so it wasn't like one period was dominated by any single team. It was a lot more back and forth than it has been. Yeah,
it was. If you look at any of the possession charts throughout the game, it was absolutely insane how close it was. Literally going back and forth the entire time. Obviously, as has been going on for most of this series, the Pro, Lowry, and Stepniak line were solid. They did get a bit more of an offensive zone push this game, as well as the little Furley line. I thought they were great as well. Mm-hmm. They both played well, but again, that second line of Stafford, Scheifele, and Wheeler were just outmatched. They got, again today, great possession or great offensive zone starts, and they were just decimated. Yeah. And if the Jets want to have a shot at all making this, even preventing a sweep at this point, that line needs to do something. Yeah. And Paul Maurice has sat on it for too long now. You need to shuffle that up. Whether you reunite, I don't know if you reunite Little and Wheeler, or how you mix things up. If you push Perreault back up to the second line and shuffle things that way, but their magic's gone. They had their hot streak, and it's dead now. It's over. Something needs to be changed because it's brutal. It's a killer when your best scoring option line, or what you would expect to be your best scoring option line, is just getting decimated every night, and it's not a way to win hockey games.
I think the reason that this game was maybe closer than in terms of possession play than any of the other ones was because that first line finally stepped up and didn't get outshot like ridiculous amounts.
Yep. So Brian Little had a hell of a game. He could have easily had 3 or 4 goals tonight. Yeah. Hitting posts, getting robbed at least twice, scoring once. Yeah. I thought Lowry had a great game. Ladd was all over the place. I think all this ridiculous talk of Ladd should be scratched or Ladd's not showing up is finally dead. It should never have started in the first place. It's the thing with playoffs, and I think that a lot of people need to realize is it's just really over magnified. It's still a hockey game. Anything can happen. It's 1 or 2 games. Things happen, and crazy storylines are pulled out of it. But you need to put faith in your players. They're going to turn it around.
Well, it's just like the first game of the Pittsburgh-New York series. Crosby and Malkin didn't score in the first game.
The front page of the newspaper.
This is one game. The first game of the series, neither of them scored. So all of a sudden, where'd they go? They disappeared. It was like a wanted poster in the front of the Pittsburgh Tribune or whatever after one game. And I mean, that's the way it is with playoffs. Everything's magnified. Yeah. So you just got to kind of take a second and say, okay, relax. As long as we're playing the way we want to play, we can't get too upset with what the results are because you can't be guaranteed. Yep. So unfortunately, the Jets weren't playing the way that at least we thought that they wanted to be playing for the first 2 games. They finally started playing the way they wanted to, and or the way we wanted them to. Yeah. And
it was a good result. And
they played well. So I mean, it sucks that they lost it in the last seconds, but that's just the way she goes.
Yep. Like we said, Little had a hell of a game. Lowry had a hell of a game. I think of all of them, this is one where you do kind of. I'm not going to directly say Pavelec is to blame, but 5 goals is a lot to give up in a hockey game.
Even if you're playing more than 3 periods, 4 goals through 3 periods is a lot.
Yeah, so I think if of any of them, this is where you kind of have to be like, all right, he had a 917 coming into this game, and he was bad enough tonight that it dropped below 900 for his save percentage in the playoffs. So that's not like. I'm not going to say any goal was unstoppable for his. The late goal in the end of the first was something he should stop, or a good goalie does stop most times. I think the late goal was a tight angle as well. Like there's a few that he is now, especially in that game, it's been a little iffy. I'm not putting the series at all on him by any stretch. But tonight he was definitely a factor against the Jets coming out on top. One thing, and I don't want to start harping on the guy because I do enough on Twitter.
Yeah.
But Mark Stewart again tonight just looked lost. You look at it, the last goal, he chased the puck. Go watch the replay. When a guy came back out in front of the net, Scheifele was standing with the guy in front of the net. Stewart took him, so we had 2 guys taking the guy in front, and the player who ended up scoring the goal wide open to the side of the net because Stewart completely ignored his existence. And it was more than once tonight where he got caught chasing players.
Yeah.
Caught chasing pucks and giving up scoring chances. And a lot of people were talking on initially, and we mentioned it too with Ben Sherratt not playing great in that first game. I don't really understand why the option has to be Ben Sherratt or Adam Pardy. I don't get why Mark Stewart is such an untouchable asset to this team.
Yeah.
I think in my opinion, he's been the worst defenseman for the Jets this entire series, except for maybe Sherratt in the first game.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why he's so untouchable, and I think, honestly, at this point, scratching him might be the smart move going forward.
He seems to be the one on the D-line that was getting the most rattled. I mean, he was actually playing what would seem an inexperienced, in a very inexperienced way, with just magnifying his ridiculous
standing around.
The standing around, and also the committing to guys, trying to commit to the hit, not playing the puck at all. And I mean, I understand that you'd have to find a balance between playing the puck and playing the body, and sometimes it's the right time to play the body, sometimes it's the right time to play the puck. But I mean, he's just body every time.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get burned if you're 100% one or 100% the other. You're gonna get burned, and he was 100% body tonight and did not give a damn about the puck.
And he was a
lot of the time he didn't even care which body, just a body.
Yeah, he's just throwing him. He throws himself around, and it's insane.
Yeah.
He was a -12 possession differential today, and
That's
that was
pretty bad.
By far the worst. And yes, he did have a bit heavier of the defensive zone starts, but at the same time, like, he's consistently in that worst area, and he drags down Jacob Trouba, and I just don't understand why he is so untouchable. And they brought it up again. I was shocked that they brought it up on 1290 this morning. So for the first time ever, why is Stewart in this lineup right now?
Wow.
And he shouldn't be, because he's not good, and it's killing them right now. And that pairing with Stewart and the Jets' second line is honestly what's driving them into the ground. On the Ducks side of things, it does say something about them, how they, first of all, their goaltending tonight was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Anderson was fantastic. He made a few huge saves. And again, he did allow 4 goals as well, but he made some gigantic saves throughout.
Yeah.
But what does it say about this team that this is now they've barely led in this series? I think their combined time leading is under 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's
in this series. The Jets have been leading for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say about them that they can just, I hate this phrase, but they're finding ways to win games. They managed to just keep rolling, and I don't know if it's just super magnified scored effects or what it is, but all year long they have just kept pushing and scoring late and winning 1-goal games, and it's just something. If
that Kessler interview in the second intermission was actually pretty interesting, because he, and maybe this is just good acting on his part, but he seemed completely confident in the fact that they were gonna. He straight up said, was like, yeah, for some reason we really like just coming back, and that's the way we've been playing, and we're just gonna go out and score another goal and win this game, just whatever. And he. I mean,
it's one thing to say it, but he just says it with such a confidence.
Oh yeah, no. When I saw him say that, I was like, wow, I believe him. Like that's he truly believes that.
And he was a guy again coming out and scoring a late goal, and he,
for some reason, they have some sort of confidence there that I don't know where it comes from or why it's there, but it's there.
Yeah, again, intangibles are obviously a part of the game, but it is something that's measured in possession statistics. But they just have something.
Yep.
Something about them that they just, whether it's the style they play when teams go into their defensive shell or try to prevent goals, which every team does when you're up. Every team goes into that style of we've got to hold back and not do anything stupid. I don't know if it's just the Ducks are very good at taking advantage of those situations or what it is, but they are just unreal when it comes down to time to being a dominant team, and they took over in the third. And yeah, it was impressive to see again. But honestly, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I am amazed with Ryan Kessler right now because he has done such a great job of getting under Mark Scheifele's skin, Dustin Byfuglien's skin. Dustin Byfuglien, again, took a couple iffy penalties tonight. Mm-hmm. One thing I want to get clear out of the way here, in no way, shape, or form is Dustin Byfuglien ever going to become a forward again, and if he does, he should just be traded instantly. Yeah. Stop even saying that is an option. It is not going to fix anything. If anything, it will make it worse.
Yeah.
So shut your mouths. It's going to destroy your defensive group. It's not a good decision. Looking at you reporters who are saying, oh, he's hampering things, and Ted Wyman said it. Literally, I tweeted out, there is going to be a hot take, and someone's going to say, make Dustin Byfuglien a forward after he took his second penalty, and within the next minute, I think it was Ted Wyman tweeted out, when are the Jets going to realize he's a terrible thing to be in the defensive end? You're vulnerable defensively. You should be a forward. Less than 30 seconds after I made the tweet. And he should not be a forward. That's not the solution. But Ryan Kessler's gotten under his skin. He's drawing penalties and scoring goals. And
everybody thought that Corey Perry was going to be the villain in this series, and I mean, to a certain extent, he always is because he's the Ducks'
hate him too.
He's the Ducks' best player. But
he's a devil child.
Kessler, everybody doesn't like Corey Perry for some reason, but no, Ryan Kessler has kind of taken over that villain role for the Jets this series.
And again, it's the playoffs and everything's really overanalyzed and there's much smaller sample sizes, but this is what they do. And Ryan Kessler's been deep in the playoffs multiple times, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows what he can get away with. And it's interesting to watch Jets fans, and especially because right now you've got a lot of people who don't watch hockey on a regular basis really getting into games. And people in the arena are always over-exaggerating, especially with the Jets, penalties and things like that. And you're really seeing it affect them now. Where a lot of things aren't getting called. People are getting furious. You got conspiracy theories being thrown around on Reddit, and you're seeing that this is a market that clearly has not been as deep watching the playoffs as
definitely not
other markets in the past, because a lot of things that are very clearly never going to be called are being asked to be called, and it's a different experience, that's for sure. So gotta prevent getting swept now.
Yeah,
Wednesday nights. This franchise, in its existence, still has never won a playoff game.
Do you go with Hutch?
No, just because I didn't like Pavlik's game, but I don't think it's worth creating all that drama right now. You're going to have the questions in the offseason, and someone actually mentioned today on Twitter that if you were ever going to trade Pavlik, this is the year to do it. And he said, if you want to look at a team desperate to make a move for a goaltender, Edmonton's that team right now.
Oh, my goodness.
And if you're ever going to move,
I would almost feel bad for Edmonton if that ever happened.
I would laugh so hard. But those questions will be asked later. I think you just ride Pavs for now. It's been one game.
Yeah.
If the Jets win, then at this point, I think you're stuck with them.
Absolutely.
You go with it. Yeah. You can't really swap it out. I don't want to say all hope is lost, but they lost the game at home now. And the old cliche, if you're not in trouble, you lose at home. They're in trouble.
It's in trouble now.
They're in trouble. Yeah. So, I don't know. That second line's got to turn around. If they want to have a hope in hell, Pavlik's got to not play like he did tonight, and that second line's got to turn around, right? Like, that's... I don't know how else you can really sum it up other than don't give up late goals.
Well, I mean...
seems to be it.
Yeah, and I mean, don't give up goals at all. But it is obviously... in terms of the intangibles such as momentum and all that stuff, it seems like it sucks more to give up goals right at the very end, and it does. But I mean, even if you were to give up a goal 2 minutes into a game or with 2 minutes left, like they all still count on the score sheet as the same. You want to just eliminate those mistakes, whether they happen early, late, or in the middle.
Yeah, whether it's you're letting off the gas a little bit late or whatever it is,
stop doing it. Yeah.
And it's especially heartbreaking. This is a night where I think the power play looked a little bit better. They scored a goal, I believe. The penalty kill looked decent, and that special teams battle that you were getting dominated on was much closer tonight, and they still couldn't pull it off. So, at this point, it's looking like the Ducks are just a better team. Things aren't over. The last few years, we've seen teams come back from 0-3 down. Last year, we saw it.
And a situation,
the Jets can get hot.
A situation such as this game, I mean, we could easily be sitting here saying the series the series is right back in hand, because when it goes to overtime like that, it's just a bounce either way. Little hit the post, and I mean, like, it could be anything.
Well, 3 or 4 bounces, and we're talking about the Jets either being up 2-1 or up 3-0 in the series.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like they were completely out of it at any point.
Yeah, they're not getting blown out.
It looks bad, 3-0. But I think the Jets are better value for it than that.
Yep, and they'll have things to do in the offseason. Yeah. And I think that's about it for us today. Again, next game is Wednesday nights. Joe and I both have a floor hockey game late Wednesday, so I'm not sure if we're going to have a post game. And if we do, it might just be me on Skype. But we'll figure something out if anything does happen.
Yeah.
Keep your ears open just in case. Follow Jets at JetStream Pod on Twitter, and we'll keep you updated with what's going on there. Again, Game 4 Wednesday night. Jets obviously need a win.
That's a must-win. I think must-win is very overused in sports, but this is
literally a must-win.
This is like, you have to.
Yep, so enjoy the game on Wednesday, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in and listening to it. We appreciate it. Subscribe, rate us on iTunes if you can. Get a hold of us on Twitter at JetStreamPod. Check out ArcticIceHockey.com for all the links to all of our episodes. We just posted one today, actually. And yeah, good luck to the Jets. Enjoy the whiteout. Enjoy the game, everybody. Go Jets, go.